Hey everybody, this is Fat and Angry. I'm angry, he's fat. This is going to be our little introduction audio. We're going to go ahead and introduce ourselves, get to know you, let you get to know us. Alright, what do you have to say, Fats?
I like bacon.
I know you do. We all do. At least all of us should.
Bacon that's never lied to me, never betrayed me, never taken my hopes and dreams, thrown them on the ground, kicked them around. Bacon is better than people.
You say that now, but eventually bacon will betray you. It does all of us. Eventually. Anyway, so what is this? Fat and Angry, what the hell is this supposed to be? It's something that we've been kicking around for a while now. Everyone else has been jumping on the whole podcast bandwagon, YouTube bandwagon. Why the fuck not? Figured it's about our time to throw our little voices into the giant cacophony that is the internet. So, what is this thing going to be? It's going to be us, me angry, him fats. We're going to be talking about everything and anything. Whatever the hell we feel like. We're not always going to be angry.
But we all will always be fat.
Yeah, that's probably going to be a thing. That's going to be a common thread.
Especially if we keep eating these nachos.
Man, I wish I had some nachos.
I'm going to have sex with some nachos after this podcast.
The hot cheese will burn. It will be painful.
It burns so good. So good.
All right, you get that little bit of Cenobite out of you. So, who are we? I'm angry.
I'm fat.
We just decided that'd be a good name. Obviously, he's fat because of obvious reasons.
Mostly delicious food.
Yes, sitting across from me is Fats. He is a very, very large man. But good guy. Very good guy. Me? I like to call myself angry because I tend to rant and rave about shit all the time. Nothing really makes me happy anymore. I've been on this earth too long, and I've long since stopped giving a shit about what other people think I should feel or do. It's like, oh, you need to be happy all the time. You need to look on the bright side. You know what? Fuck that. It's called living in La La Land. It's not called being a realist. Being a realist is looking around the world and realizing that everything is shit and everyone is shit and everything and everyone will continue to be shit until the end of time, when the heat death of the universe eventually claims us all. This is going to always be unscripted. It's always going to be raw, mostly unedited. At least unedited until one of us learns how to fucking edit. That will be an eventual project, learning how to figure out what all the buttons do on this fucking thing. It's just a lot of knobs and dials I'm looking at right now, and I really can't figure out heads or tails what the hell any of it means. And I am just too fucking lazy to be asked.
Alright, one thing I can add to this is I have a reactive, somewhat abstract sense of humor. And my friend here, he is a very...
reactionary.
I would say volatile sense of anger.
Like nitroglycerin in a paint mixer.
Yeah. But, yeah, we'll see what we can do with that.
No, I'm not always going to be angry. It's just that the common things, I mean, I can literally find the most petty, minuscule bullshit to be pissed off about. It's a gift from God. And I just felt like I should share it with the world. Now, another reason we're doing this, I mean, I've been inspired by a lot of people on YouTube for a long time now. I mean, hell, ever since I lost my cable back in 2008, YouTube has become my media style of choice. I go on there every day, I watch my videos, and I enjoy them. And I figured, you know what? I think I could do that. But of course, that's a bit of an insult to the people that do videos on YouTube all the time and that do much a better job than we're probably going to end up doing. But you know what? I feel we should at least give a shout out to some of them. You want to go ahead and start us off?
Well, my favorite YouTube channels to listen to are Jim Sterling.
Oh, definitely. He's a fun one. And why is that?
Uh,
Give some explanation. Quantify your answer.
I just love the raw honesty of him. He'll when he plays a video game, he'll point out the good where it is, but most of the time he is literally dumpster diving for the worst he can find, and it's kind of like watching Gordon Ramsay. He will just shove the absolute truth down the person's throat for making a shit game, and I love that. If you shouldn't be making video games, he will fucking let you know.
I also watch him. For one thing, he's British, and listening to British people get angry about shit is one of my favorite pastimes. Because no one really goes on a fucking verbal rampage like a British person when you think about it. I mean, case in point, Gordon Ramsay. If you don't know who he is, you need to get off your ass. And frankly, if you don't know who he is, I doubt you listen to YouTube in the first place.
Yeah, you'll definitely not be listening to us.
One of the things I like about him is just the fact that he is pretty good at spotting trends that can potentially be bad. He is pretty good at fortune telling. He sees an issue, he points it out, and lo and behold, maybe a year or two down the road, exactly what he predicted fucking happens. Case in point, his prediction that Visceral Games is going to get fucking gutted by EA. And he said that immediately after they released Dead Space 3, and I think that was 3 years ago?
Something like that.
Yeah, it's and what do you know? Just this past year, just last month? Or the other month before, just bam, they got shut down. EA's on a fucking roll right now. Man, that ought to heavily date this. Or not, depending on how much they fuck up in the future, really.
Also, don't expect us to do a whole lot of backtracking and research. We're doing this off the top of our heads, so some of the facts might be skewed because we just don't remember correctly and we're too lazy to look it up.
Yeah, it's kind of like just that this is a conversation cast when you think about it. It's unless you're some sort of, I don't know what you would call them, a lunatic who goes around and refuses to communicate with other people or debate with other people unless you have a fucking backpack full of clip notes on what the fuck you're going to be talking about, as if you just have a giant wizard's tome of all the facts for every conceivable debate topic that you could ever come up with that you can just fucking flip to whenever you need it. I knew assholes like that in college. They would not talk about shit unless they did a 5-hour cramming session of all the facts for that topic so they could try to make you sound like an idiot. And make the rest of their sycophantic fucking friends think that they're just the brainiest motherfucker to walk the planet. It's oh, sure. I can cream you in debate too if I got someone with a fucking teleprompter behind you.
Yes, but I'm not Batman. I don't use prep time.
The fucking bat belt with all of his bat bullshit in his bat belt. I was I could have stopped that with my bat anti-nuke batarang thing. It's I bet you could have. What plot device do you have in your fucking utility belt this time, Batman?
Marvel.
Damn, son. Character assassination. Who are a couple other YouTubers? Obviously, you got to pay props to one of the biggest ones right now. I'm not talking about PewDiePie. I'm talking about James Rolfe, the Angry Video Game Nerd. I've been watching him since he started putting his shit up back in 2006 on YouTube. That's over 10 years now. It's been a ways, hasn't it?
Yeah. I do watch a lot of the Angry Video Game Nerd. I don't watch any of his other shows, really. I don't care for his friend Mike. I just don't find him entertaining. And I find videos of them that tend to drone on and be boring. So I don't watch any of their Let's Plays. Just straight up the game reviews.
No, I have to disagree with that personally. I'm not going to fault you for saying that. I mean, to each their own. But I actually prefer a lot of the behind-the-scenes videos, a lot of the making-ofs. Because the Angry Video Game Nerds, they've been fun, obviously. It's they're fun. But I like the history of it. I love it when he does research on games. When he does research on all the things about the games, gives you history on it. It's informative. It's fun. You can see his passion in it. In particular, his movie reviews, because he keeps stating, and I don't know why a lot of his fans don't seem to understand this concept, that his first primary passion is movies. That's why he's a filmmaker. And listening to him talk about movies, listening to him talking about the research that goes into learning these movies, he recently, or like, I think it was like last month or the month before, he started doing these videos where he was talking about like these things like the unidentified speech that happens at the beginning of Phantom of the Opera, or what the fuck was that cardboard thing on the lamp in Dracula, stuff like that. And I found that to be very fascinating. But obviously, you don't have to like all of his stuff. He's one of the pioneers of YouTube. Obviously, he deserves props.
Yeah. Well, also, like, from it, originally when he got into the video game stuff, it wasn't to actually get into video games. It was because he was interested in making short films, and
Oh yeah,
it just grew into something larger. But
Funny
that
that, like,
wasn't his original goal.
funny that the movie guy, like, became famous for video game related stuff and not for movie stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping the more popular he becomes, the more people check out his other stuff. And I have no problems with Mike Matei. And it's like their Let's Play stuff, I enjoy it, but that's just me. But anyway, who else? The guys from Game Attack. I really have to give them props. They used to be known as Screw Attack. I got to give them props because they've been doing it for a while. They used to have a whole website set up for them. They were associated with game trailers for a while. They were associated with James Roll for a while. They had some tie-ins with the Angry Video Game Nerd. They've worked with some other people. I mean, Pro Jared used to be part of the Screw Attack crew. They broke off to Game Attack, and they've had to break off again because of financial situations. The adpocalypse on YouTube tore them the fuck up. But they're still kicking. It's just Craig and Sean Boland right now, but they're still kicking. And a lot of their stuff, they are good at adapting. They are good at keeping themselves alive. Now I know that Screw Attack itself is still around, but they mostly just do Death Battle stuff right now and Desk of Death Battle. And there's nothing wrong with that. I do enjoy watching Death Battle from time to time. Don't always agree with the matchups, don't always agree with the results, but still, good stuff. Love watching those guys. I love some of their Mario Party stuff is always fucking hilarious. Watching them turn on each other like a bunch of fucking cannibals. And especially that 8-bit Fiesta game that they play when they get shit-faced. That is fucking hilarious. Watching them just break the fuck down. You get to watch like grown-ass men become inebriated children in a heartbeat. But, what were you going to say? You look like you're...
I was going to say, also, I'm a fan of JonTron.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think he's done a video yet that I haven't laughed at, so...
At least at some point, yeah.
Yeah.
Not all of his jokes are like, home runs, but there's going to be at least one home run in each of his video.
I find Egoraptor amusing, but I'm not a fan of the Game Grump show. There's been a few clips that I find funny, but as far as just in general with Let's Plays, I'm not a big fan of them. I often feel there's a lot of dead space, and it's just not my thing.
No, I have to disagree. The Game Grumps is probably one of my favorite channels on right now. It was great with JonTron and Egoraptor. Now it's Egoraptor and Danny Sexbang, of course, Aaron and Danny. At the time of recording this, they're at a bit of a slump right now because they're on their release schedule, in which when they were filming, Danny came down with the flu during the holidays. And so now a lot of the output that they're doing right now is either Grumpcade with Aaron and some of his friends. One of them's with Super Mega right now. And or him just doing Q&A sessions by himself. And you can tell he's not used to doing, like, the solo videos, but he does the best he can. Now, the debate between who was better, JonTron or Danny, you and me argue with that one.
Well, I found JonTron more amusing than Danny. Danny, I'm not going to say he doesn't have good jokes, but I think the unbalanced dynamic between JonTron and Aaron was a lot more entertaining.
Yeah, when you want to talk about, hey, I'm Grump, I'm not so Grump, it's like back in those days when Aaron lost his shit and got pissed off. He royally lost his shit and got pissed off. It almost seemed like JonTron was egging him on.
Yeah.
Like that John was just like jabbing him in all the right places to get the biggest explosion out of him. And then Danny tends to work better with Aaron in the sense that he's more of an enabler. He helps keep Aaron going. He doesn't really poke and prod him and antagonize him as much as John does,
Yeah.
which is a blessing and a curse at the same time. It just depends on what you're looking for. I think that Danny is a bit quicker on the snappy jokes. A lot of his jokes tend to hit the mark a lot better. He just seems to be a little bit more educated in improv. Not that JonTron isn't, but JonTron, he's a funny guy who does a lot of writing.
Yeah.
And a lot of his impromptu jokes are good, but I think Danny just hits the mark more often. But that's splitting hairs for me.
Yeah.
But still, I love the Game Grumps. I like how they've just exploded into this giant, like, YouTube personality to the point where, like, you see so many animators on YouTube doing animated bits of, like, the bits from Game Grumps and some of our favorites, like Jesus Christ Weeping Bell, or some of the bits from Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
Oh God, I think one of my favorite ones has still got to be the calling Bill Nye. That bit was hilarious. Who else? A lot of the people associated with. I'll just do a whole blanket thing. The people associated with the Co-Optional Podcast, that would be Total Biscuits, that would be Jesse Cox, and that would be Dodger, who are also like Dex Bonus or whatever particular channel she's going on. But the three of them, I think, work very well together. I wish they would do more than just podcasts. I wish they would do more videos of them playing actual games, because they aren't quite as cutthroat as the guys at Screw Attack. I will say that they have a lot more courtesy towards each other, a lot less name calling, a lot less threats of physical violence, but still really good stuff. I just love listening to Jesse Cox laugh. He's got that really high squeaky laugh, and it's infectious. Dodger's very... I just like watching her. She has a very interesting take on stuff. And, of course, Total Biscuit. He reminds me a lot of Jim Sterling, not just in the fact that he's extraordinarily British, like Jim Sterling, but also he's very critical of a lot of bonehead mistakes that game companies will make, a lot of bad game design decisions. Now, that said, this channel isn't just going to be talking about games. Like we said earlier, we're going to be talking about anything and everything. We're going to be talking about games. We're going to be talking about movies. We're going to be talking about comic books. We're going to be talking about comic book characters.
We're going to be talking about your mom.
Yeah, you know who you are. You know who we're talking about. Yeah, you. Your mom. Your fucking mother. We're going to be talking about her. Deal with it.
And what we did to her. Mom's a slut.
And that's the least of it. No, but this is just going to be a fun little channel. Me and Fats here, we have lots of conversations, and we've always said this is just too good to ignore. We got to put this up. We've had conversations in restaurants and in like movie lines where we're talking, and people will literally stop what they're fucking doing just to listen to us. I remember we were having a good conversation with a friend of ours over at an Asian food restaurant, and I was going on one of my vitriolic tirades, and we got interrupted by a couple of people at a different table who says, I didn't mean to eavesdrop, but I completely agree with everything you said. Like, well, thank you. It's nice not to be yelled at for having opinions for once in my goddamn life. Unlike, which is my hell every day at home. You have, oh, that's cute. You think you know things. Well,
he thinks he's people.
Look, he's eating at the table like people. My God, he thinks he's people.
Quick, take away his mashed potatoes.
Gonna get me my fucking mashed potatoes. But this is just a little introduction. We're probably going to try to put this just like as number one, grade A, raw, uncooked. But we're going to keep at it. We're gonna try to keep supplying. These are going to be coming in sporadic until we can get our groove. We're just starting this out. Literally, we're learning as we go along, and we hope that you guys are going to be able to put up with us long enough to get into the good stuff. Now, that said, we're going to go ahead and cut it off for now, and when we come back, it's going to be something good. Hopefully. Maybe. We make no promises.
Feel free to destroy us in the comment section.
Oh, I know.
Tough love is the best love.
I disagree with that, but sure, we'll do that.